Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship qualifiers. This is the European qualifier. We've already had 2 of the 3 conclude, and now we find out 1 more spot advancing on to the World Championship.
Yeah, this is going to be great. The qualifiers are almost over, as you just said, but now we have a Sunday afternoon full of awesome StarCraft games to come your way. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to being back in the driving seat once again, doing some commentary. As the last one, I didn't really notice it, but during the Korean qualifier, I was still really tired from traveling to Sao Paulo.
Ah, okay.
Because when I got back, I thought I was okay, and I was forcing myself up to wake up 7 to 8 hours sleep, which is normal. And then after that qualifier, I passed out for about 12 hours, and I was like, oh, I guess I am tired. But now I've had a couple of days rest in between, and now I'm ready to rock and roll here.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We have a lot of good players lined up here. Noticeably, because we're on the European server, a lot of Europeans. And from what I can see, this is the one best opportunity that our European hopefuls are going to have, or foreign hopefuls, of going on to Katowice. Because Cologne's going to be pretty stacked with some very good Koreans, as probably will be the open bracket at Katowice. It depends on who actually goes. But even though this is the one best chance we have of foreigners, we still have some really good Koreans here as well.
There is the full Axiom squad is playing today from Korea, which will obviously make it a little bit more difficult for them. Then you have players like Hero from Team Liquid, who's currently in Holland, so he's in the best possible setup to play this qualifier. You've got Hyun playing Pult signed up. Who else signed up?
Dia. We have Dia as well.
Dia signed up. Patience Stardust have signed up. Hyun signed up after his semi-final finish in the North American qualifier last night. So a lot of good Korean players have signed up for this. But of course, there is the full house of European players. You know, everybody that you love and watch to play. You've got Grubby to Nurchio to Happy to Snoot, the TLO. You got everyone really playing from this qualifier. And it will be basically, as you said, Europe versus Korea on European grounds.
Yeah, it certainly will be. They do have that home ground advantage, which is nice for them. But as you mentioned, a lot of those Koreans are currently in Europe. So a little bit difficult and tricky as they go up against those big powerhouses. Now, obviously, we had 2 of our 3 qualifiers conclude in the Korean and North American regions. We had Jin as Rogue, or Climax, as you want to call him, whatever you want to name him, advanced from the Korean one, beating out Sulky in the grand final. And then in the North American one, Jakshi was able to advance on. So he is our 2nd Terran currently representing at Katowice.
Yeah, alongside Tasia, who was invited in being the DreamHack Winter Champion of 2013, or just the DreamHack overall champion, as the winter was the finals. So the lineup for Katowice is pretty good right now. There's 6 Protoss, 2 Terran, and 3 Zerg. That could change today. There are some decent Terrans signed up. And then, of course, you got the Intel Extreme Masters next week, which will also impact those player lists.
Ever since we got back this year, it's as if the Intel Extreme Masters has not stopped and just keeps going. We've had Sao Paulo just before, qualifiers now, Cologne, and then we'll take a brief one-day rest, and then we'll get back into WCS Europe. And then we have more Intel Extreme Masters Katowice after.
That's right. Lots of StarCraft starting off 2004 brilliantly. But now looking at this qualifier, as mentioned, is going to be Korea versus Europe. Our first game, which we looked at that we were going to do, even though it may not happen here because we haven't actually heard anything back from the players yet. But we were looking at covering Axiom's impact there. I guess the most recent signing, I suppose we can call it, the little Zerg player that they have, was going to go up against NightEnD. Would have been our first game. NightEnD most recently just qualifying back into Premier League. And he'll be, well, he actually played really well. I watched the series. I didn't expect him to win. He beat Sortov 3-1 the other day.
I will say that I did expect him to win, especially since I wrote it up and put down my predictions and stuff like that. But at the same time, I can understand where you're coming from. He was kind of flying under the radar for quite a while. But aside from Sortov's performance at Asus ROG, I also think that Sortov kind of flew under the radar as well. So a 3-1 victory there for NightEnD, really impressive. I think NightEnD going into that series, being on NRS now, being in Romania, the team house is in exactly the same place he lives. I think he, had quite a bit of comfort there going into that series and performed really well. You're right. It was good to see.
Yeah.
Should we show the brackets on screen, actually?
We can have a look at the brackets on screen.
Let's do that.
We should have really done that anyway. Here's the brackets. As you can see, it is going to be a 128-player bracket. There was roughly 75 to 80 players that signed up. Pult comes in at seed number 1 here. And then on the left-hand side, you can see the amount of players that are playing in this. Quite a few decent ones. I'll scroll down slowly.
That's a lovely slow pace that you've got going on there. Showtime versus Revenge, actually, in the second round there looks pretty nice. And then, obviously, you have quite a lot of the higher-seeded players just waiting for their opponent to finish a game in the first round. Like TLO, for example, waiting for Creed and Eki to finish up. Eki actually performing really well in that Nation Wars thing. So it'd be nice to see how he does.
Yep. You could have a potential Crank versus Elfie matchup there.
Uh-oh.
Hyun and Hero narrowly avoid each other. As you can see, two different sides of the bracket. That is Liquid Hero, of course. And then as you scroll down, there's just a bunch of really good European players. You've got Bunny in there as well, who's been performing well recently. Alicia, like I said, all of the Axiom players have signed up. They all played in the Korean qualifier as well. They all lost in the Korean qualifier.
Yeah.
And they're hoping their luck can be better today. So that is the list. And right at the bottom there is, of course, Mouse Sports' new addition, Dia. So a good set of players.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It is going to be good. Obviously, a lot of people are pegging people like Dia to be the grand favorites of this and advance on through the entirety of the bracket. But at the same time, we never know. We could see upsets. For example, in the North American qualifier yesterday, we saw Dia drop out to Bly,
Yes.
which is kind of weird, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, it did. We may see that today. From what I'm being told by the admin here, is trying to keep up with what's going on, is that we will have the NightEnD versus Impact game. NightEnD is on his way, so we just have to wait for him for a couple of minutes before he plays against Impact.
Alrighty, sounds good. Did you manage to catch a lot of Pro League this morning, Sean?
I watched all of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I came here nice and early because it was so close that if it had gone the distance, they would have the travel to here would have overlapped with Pro League.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to make sure I watched all of it, so I came to the office early so I could watch it. So I watched it from upstairs, and yeah, power of the Protoss.
Power of Protoss, man. I got quite lucky, I must admit, because I decided I'm going to stay home. Maybe I'll miss some games, but in the end, as you said, power of Protoss meant that I didn't miss anything. Good job. Good job partying.
It was good. I'm looking forward to Pro League tomorrow as well, which will then, of course, be SKT going up against Samsung Khan.
If we get a SKT versus KT Grand Finals, I am going to be so happy.
It's the finals that everybody wants to see.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I think so. I do want to see that as well. Samsung's a great team, but it was either Jin Air or SK that are going to go to the finals, I think. So,
yeah.
So the format for this qualifier, by the way, is all best of threes until the grand final, as we covered, is going to be a best of five, which is actually a 3-0 when we did the Korean qualifier, as of course Climax, Savage, Rogue, whatever ID you want to call him by, just steamrolled there.
Yeah, that's true. Poor Solkey, he crushed through a lot of good players, but then Climax was... Rogue, I don't want to call him Climax. Rogue was able to do pretty darn well for himself in ZVZ, so that was well played by him. And it'll be good to see how he's going to perform at Katowice. Obviously, the lineup in general is massively stacked. So normally when we have qualifiers for Intel Extreme Masters, the champion of the Korean qualifiers normally has a very good shot at taking the whole thing. But this time around, it's going to be a whole different kettle of fish. It's such a strong lineup.
Yeah, there's really good StarCraft coming up. Sao Paulo, I would like to say, was on the quieter end of 2014, or the quieter when it comes to the scale of what we're going to see. But the next big event is going to be the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. Which is just incredible. Looking at the player list is remarkable. You've got Innovation to Deer, to J-Dong, to Polt, to 4GG, to Jack G. You've got all of them there. Good. It's a fantastic lineup. And then, of course, you've got the open bracket, which we're going to see some more players qualify through. And then just, I mean, not even that far away. I suppose after Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, you've got the World Championship Premier League going on weekly.
Yep.
And then by the time we know it, it's going to be March, which means it's going to be time for the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. So a lot of awesome StarCraft coming. The next few months are going to be busy.
It certainly is. And, well, we are still just waiting here for NightEnD to get in. And Mr. Impact is eagerly awaiting his arrival as well. He'll be good to go in a second.
Who do you favour in here, NightEnD or Impact?
I'll have to go with Impact.
Yeah? Even though he's playing from the Korean server, and obviously we'll have a bit of latency issues.
Yeah. Oh, no, let's go with NightEnD. Let's go with Foreign Hope and Pride.
Yeah.
And go with NightEnD. Because he did look good. Yeah, again, it was in a different matchup. It was against sort of. But yeah, let's go with NightEnD. Best of 3, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
You think?
Europe holds.
It's hard, right?
Yeah, it's
kinda
difficult to
difficult.
call. I mean, Impact's not exactly played a lot of tournaments, so we don't really know exactly how he's going to play today. So it is hard to predict. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a coin flip for me because I don't know.
All right, fair play. Well, aside from that, obviously, guys, we have a lot of partner streams going on, which are going to be covering other games as well. So get every single stream open and watch as many games as possible. If you have a big monitor, if you don't, you can just flick between them. When you hear someone shouting really loud, then you know something's going on in that particular game. And then you'll know, although
Would
listening...
you have all of them on at the same time, the sounds?
Maybe not. I'm being hopeful, Sean. But, okay.
Maybe
so
if you have
probably
them all
about
on the same screen and you have them muted. I did a test once, actually. I think it was DreamHack Stockholm. And there was some other tournament going on at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't remember what tournament it was. But it was me and Grubby casting together.
Okay.
And it might have been a clash with GSL or something. And I knew that everybody had it on dual screens because the viewership was the same. It was like roughly 20, 30,000 on both streams. And we were on break and talking. Me and Grubby were talking. And I know there was another game going on at the same time. And I go, Grubby, let's do a test. And he's like, what? What are we going to do? I'm like, well, right now, I'm pretty sure that people have dual streams up, but we're muted because we're just talking nonsense while there's actually a game going on the other stream. So what we should do is just wave our hands frantically around, and then I see what happens.
Wait, what?
So then what we did is we were talking like this back and forth, and I was like, right now, Grubby, they're looking at us, thinking that we're actually talking about something interesting, whereas we're actually just talking a bit of nonsense. So watch this, Grubby. All right, in 3, 2, 1, we're going to wave our hands. And then together, we just went like this, and then I went... so now you've unmuted the stream. Welcome back to the DreamHack stream. And went something like that.
Did it work?
Yes, it did. I had a lot of tweets and a lot of people in the chat were fooled.
Brilliant.
Because they thought they were like, what's going on? Well, I've got to unmute this one to have a look at what's going on this one. I said, well, welcome.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, it was a trick that I pulled off a long time ago, and it worked.
You tricky man.
Yeah, cool story.
Cool. Very, very cool story. Thank you. All right. Well, for now, we're still waiting. We always seem to do this. We always seem to pick the series that gets going the slowest.
Every other game's starting apart from this one because NightEnD just isn't around, and I don't know where he is.
Like, I do this all the time in the Korean qualifiers with Flash, and then Flash is like, no, you cannot join. And then it's like, ah. And then all the other games are going by that time. I'm like, ah. So, yeah.
Okay, NightEnD is on now. He's online now, finally. So the way that the vetoes and stuff are going to work is that it is the ladder map pool, which consists of 7 maps. We're playing a best of 3, which means there are 4 maps that need to be gotten rid of, which means the players are going to have 2 vetoes each. 1 pick, 1 pick, 1 pick, 1 pick. And then we're left with 3 maps and then jump into it that way. So they're doing the vetoes right now. And then we'll be able to get into this game in a couple of minutes, I suppose.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. But aside from that, thanks for your patience, guys. As you can see, we're not really going too quickly, but it will be starting very soon, and then we'll have lots of StarCraft on the way for you. It's a single elimination bracket, so once you are out, you are out. There's no second bracket in the lower, so unfortunately for these guys. It's weird, because if you think about it, seeding's not really that worth it in the end.
Not really.
Because you just kind of got to win.
There's only one winner, right? So you got to beat everyone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like you can maybe edge closer to the top 4, top 8 or something. So NightEnD, of course, most recently leaving Team Fnatic, which I thought was... When I saw that, I was starting to get a little bit worried for NightEnD, thinking that he might retire, because he hasn't really put any large results out recently.
And he's been on that team forever.
And he's been on the team for a very, very long time, so it was a big, big shock to see that happen. But then, a few days later, he joined Neurosoft, the Romanian team, of course, him being Romanian. So his future seems, he's not going to just join a team and then retire a few months later. So he's still got quite a bit left in him. And that means he's going to be playing for the rest of this year at least. So I was happy to see that. He's always a nice character, and he has produced some really, really good games, actually. I can't remember who he was playing against. Maybe Tasia? Had a DreamHack that I think he beat. I think it was Tasia. It was last year, in the last year's circuit. I'm pretty sure he beat Tasia or someone with Templar-based play. Actually, the most common play that we see now, he used it first against Tasia last year, or was one of the first players to start using it. And he managed to pick up a victory, a 2-1 victory, I think, against Tasia last year. And he has produced some really good games throughout his career. So let's hope he can have a good year this one.
Yeah, he attended a lot of tournaments, and just in general NRS, I think they're making quite a name for themselves off the back of like Wellmu's performances in Premier and stuff. So I like that NightEnd's joined that team. Romanian kind of makes sense. I've been told on Twitter, Sean, to ask you about your ladder session because I did not tune into your stream yesterday.
So there was something that happened to me. It was I don't know. Okay, so the best way I can describe it is if I was trying to type something, I always mistyped. I just hit the wrong key, always, and I never do that.
Like it's instantly, you've put your hands wrong on the...
I just had thumbs everywhere.
Okay.
And I just kept on smacking the keyboard wrong. And I try to drag a box, and I miss. I couldn't grab a unit. If I try to waypoint to a mineral line, I miss. And I was just off.
Wow.
And I was on stream at the same time this was going on.
Yeah.
And it was a really bad day of games. It was really funny for a lot of people, but it was also really bad. The funny thing is, I stopped streaming, took a break, had dinner, came back, and I was back to normal again. It just happens sometimes. And it was really embarrassing, some of the games, but...
Fair play. It happens.
It happens.
Dude.
It was really weird because my eyes and my brain is seeing all these things happen. And I'm like, what's going on? Who's taking over my body? Because this isn't meant to be normal. And I couldn't stop it. It was...
It was me taking over your body, man. I'm the guy that rallies
took over
badly
my body
to the...
and I just couldn't stop it. My hands were like being taken control of and they just weren't working.
Dude, it's the worst feeling in the world when you've like misrallied like your nexuses to the like behind a mineral patch and then you randomly look at that location and there's like 10 probes like just idle. I'm like, no, they haven't been mining for so long.
Yeah, I had that yesterday. I found like 5 probes idle. I was like, oh my god, what is going on?
Pain.
And it's really funny as well because there's this one guy I played, one Terran player, and he was like, hey, do you mind if I cheese you? I'm like, absolutely, you go for it, man. And
Do
he
you
did.
mind?
He did.
Okay.
And it was like on Altazim, and he went for, and I scouted it, and I saw everything. I knew what was coming, and it was like some 2 racks with a factory. So it was like Marauder Marines and Widow Mines. He just attacked me, and I was like, all right. Time to get ready. I'll have a couple of gateways, I'll defend it, and I'll be in great shape. Mothership core, I'm fine. And my hands just couldn't do anything. I missed a force on the ramp, he come up, and I got a widow mine in my mineral line. It was just a nightmare.
Oh, God.
One of those days. We all have them.
Yeah, we do.
But it was on stream.
For me, they're every day. For me. Dude, I had a game yesterday.
It's so funny, actually.
Is this going?
The funny thing is, they're about to do the vetoes, as
Okay.
mentioned, and Impact just asked NightEnD what's his race.
Oh, no.
That's kind of funny.
He's like, Protoss. And then Impact's like, no.
And NightEnd's actually doing it to troll back, because I'm pretty sure he knows his race. He asked him his
course.
race as well, but that is funny.
That's quite cute. But anyway, yesterday, I had this game where I'm like rallying my Zealot, Stalker, and Mothership Core over to my opponent's base so I can like start harassing early on. And then I all of a sudden see all these extra dots on the minimap, like waypointed over towards my opponent's base. And I'm like, what's going on? What are all these little dots moving? And then I all of a sudden realized that I didn't reset my rally point for my Nexus, for my Mothership Core. So I've got all these probes like heading over. I'm like, wait a minute. No. So I was like, right, I'm just going to make a pylon here. It was intentional all along. But anyway, bad times.
Bad times.
I'm having a lot of fun on ladder though recently.
Yeah?
I've got a really good win ratio, and I'm trying to get back into Masters because I'm currently sat in Diamond after MMR decay. And it's...
There's a lot of people that have gone lower than that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, yes. I've had multiple complaints from people messaging me on Twitter saying, hey, I was in Diamond last season, now I'm in Silver or whatever because of the Omega Day. It has been quite bad. By the way, this is the slowest veto I've ever seen.
This really is.
Because they've selected, because what it is you select A or B. A vetoes first and chooses first, where B is the more reactionary one.
Yeah.
And they've chosen, and then Impact's there like, I vetoed Heavy Rain. And NightEnd's like, what's your race? And they're asking it again. It's actually just really slow. I wish I could show you it. It's very slow.
Well, we'll be getting into this in a little bit, guys. And it's going to be great. Impact says Zerg. Sick. Awesome. So, that's about it, really. That's about it. We're just waiting for these guys to finish their vetoes. It's going to be really fun.
So, Impact has vetoed out Heavy Rain here against Protoss. That actually tells me a little bit about his style already, because if he wanted to play Heavy Rain, which he doesn't because he's vetoed it, he might have been a Swarm Host player, but with vetoing out Heavy Rain, leads me to believe he might not be a Swarm Host player. He might not have gone to the dark side yet.
That's
Do you know
true.
who went to the dark side recently?
Who?
Jaedong.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. Sad times, man.
That was hard to watch. I loaded up his stream, and I was expecting to see the Ling, Roach, Hydra, Corruptor style into Mulus switches and Ultralist plays, and I loaded it, and he's playing against Protoss, and he's using Swarm Hosts. I was like, you've gone to the dark side. I can't believe this.
It's like normally he's got like 300 APM moving around, and that you tune in, and the one screen's just on Swarm Hosts, and he's just like rallying them in different directions, like and 20 APM. It's great.
NightEnD chooses Daedalus Point. Is
Did
the second veto between them both, and then Yonsu is a great veto there from Impact. We've seen the power of the Protoss on Yonsu. Big examples, today's Pro League. If you didn't watch it, I recommend watching Parting there. And actually, I don't know if you read, and we're hanging around after the game's finished, but the winner's interview with Parting, MVP and stuff, he said, I didn't really care if he scouted my all-in. You can't stop it anyway. And he was very confident in that. So Impact's just gotten rid of that map. And then that will leave NightEnD with one more veto. And then we were allowed to go into the map selection of 1, 2, 3.
Dude, even our admin got bored of waiting around for these guys. He's like, go, quick. Okay, get the maps done. So yeah, we chose the slowest series of all time here at the beginning.
Yeah,
but
that's great. I love just sitting here and talking and doing nothing.
It's all right. It does all right, Sean.
I'm actually starting to get a little bit hot now under these lights. I might have to take my jacket off a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You can take it off too.
Okay, so what do we actually have? So it is a 128-man bracket, technically.
Yeah.
So this probably will go a little bit quicker than our Korean one. The Korean one took a long time.
Yeah, it was about a 7-8 hour broadcast, I think. Or maybe 8+.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. At least 8, maybe. It was really, really long. But this one's not as it's not as full. The North American one was even smaller.
Yeah, it was.
Last night. That was really quick. But this one's middle-sized. And I guess that says a lot about the regions, really. Korea being obviously the most powerful, and then North America being the weakest, and then European being the strongest. So I mean, the middle. So
I think we may have seen even more of the Koreans sign up for yesterday's and today's if there wasn't Pro League, for example. I think
that's the big problem. Is right now there's Pro League going on where all the best Koreans are saving their stuff because it's a 3-day in a row. It's the playoff day 1 today, day 2, and then day 3 the day after, and it's so basically quarter semi-final. So a lot of them are being held back.
Yeah, a little bit of a shame, but what can you do? That's how the cookie crumbles. There's a lot of StarCraft going on across the world all the time, and you can't accommodate for everybody on every single day. So we're still waiting, guys.
This is the longest veto I've ever had. It's now 20-3, and I'm pretty sure we went live about 20 minutes ago.
I think so as well.
We've just been sat here waiting for them to do it.
I hope you don't mind our rambling, guys, but we're trying our best. We're trying our best.
I remember who is it? Was it maybe Kane and somebody? Kane and Nurture, maybe?
Kane and Nurture.
Where they were doing the vetoes, and then one of them had one of them had it blocked.
Was
it Nurture? Oh, it was Kane and somebody, I think.
It was Kane and...
Tefl.
Was it Tefl?
Yeah,
I think it might have been Tefl. Dude,
Yeah,
Kane and Nurture are so funny. Well,
yeah, it was Kane and Tefl.
Kane's so funny.
What was that in? That would have been the Sao Paulo European qualifier, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Where they had each other blocked.
Oh, was it the Cologne European qualifier? That was a while back if it was the Sao Paulo European qualifier. But it seems so fresh.
That's the only thing it would be.
Yeah, it seems so fresh in the memory. Oh well. Okay, so choose veto. Okay, this really is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. Things are heating up. As we're now just waiting still to get into these games.
The funny thing is, when we started the vetoes, and NightEnd's only just second vetoed.
Yeah.
He's only got 2 maps to choose.
It took so long. Now. I'm not sure what's going. You guys.
Yeah. So it's going to be Polar Knight as a second veto. So it was Daedalus and Polar Knight from the Protoss player, and then Heavy Rain and Yonsu from Impact. Which means now we have to wait another 20 minutes for them to select the order of their maps they play. 1, 2, 3.
This could take a while. We're in it for the long haul here, guys.
Yeah,
I imagine the games are going to take less time. Well, actually, it's PvZ, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, we chose PvZ for the first round. Oh, interesting. Okay.
The second round's going to be going as we start the first one. So when are you going to stream some StarCraft? You said that you were thinking about it.
I am thinking about it. Here's the problem. I can't talk whilst playing. You can do it. I'm pretty impressed at the fact that you can do it, but I'm not as good as you.
You don't have to talk, I guess.
Yeah, but I want to be entertaining.
Then
I guess I could just scream.
Wear something funny.
Wear something funny? I guess I could. I could wear the onesie.
You could wear the onesie and stream.
But you kind of lose the effect of a onesie on stream if you're only showing the torso up, right?
If you zip it all the way.
I guess. Maybe I will do it at some point. Maybe I will. But I do want to be entertaining. So maybe I have to practice to, like, off stream, like talking whilst playing, just like talking to myself and being like, okay, just commentating on my own little game. But I'm rubbish anyway, so I don't know why people would want to watch me. I can understand why they'd want to watch you, because you're quite educational. But me, I'm not very good.
It's good, though. It'll be good when you start. I'll watch.
Oh, thank you. All
Frost is the first map, and we're actually allowed to enter the map. That took a long time, so
Wow.
as you said, whew.
Impact saying go, go. We're in, guys.
25-minute veto process.
It was a marathon.
And now NightEnD says 1 minute before we start.
Oh.
This is long.
I actually think he's taking the piss now.
It's okay, don't worry. We're
Okay.
cool. We're cool.
30 seconds. Okay. Well, we'll be getting into Frost in a sec, guys. For this PVZ, I did mention that maybe the games will be shorter than this, but at the same time, again, it's PVZ, so anything can happen. Impact. Let's see if he has gone over to the dark side. Are you
Come, let's do a selfie before we go live.
I'm doing the Jason Kaplan thing.
All right, I'm gonna post a selfie, make sure that people know that we're live, and you actually saw us do the selfie, and now I'm gonna tweet it.
That was a live selfie, guys.
Yep.
A live selfie. I'm really quite bemused that that actually happened just then.
Live
But
with at IEM.
hey, but I'm in there as well. Quick, go.
Yeah, but you're in there. You're in the photo.
Oh, okay.
Live with IEM. Done. The picture's in there. I've got to do the stream link. The funny thing is, I don't know the stream link, the full long one. So
www.esl.tv/channel/esltv-.
That's too long.
What do you mean? Oh, intelextrememasters.com. Do that one. That one's easy. It's also quite actually long to type in terms of on a phone.
Yeah, it's really long.
Yeah, okay.
Let me do the easy one.
Okay.
What's the Twitch one? Is it really?
Twitch.tv/esltv_sc2.
Oh, it's still long. ESLTV_2.
Just tweet out twitch.tv. And that's it.
I think that's right now. All right.
People can
It's
find their
probably
way
gonna be
from
wrong.
there.
So now I've just tweeted our selfie.
Good job.
That was done live, because that's how we roll here in the Intel Stream Masters.
I'm pretty impressed at your gusto with your live selfie. That was
pretty fun.
That was pretty good. Yeah. That filled us our 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Filled
and
2 minutes.
NightEnd's still not ready. So
Is he really
that
not?
30 seconds that he asked for is now 2 minutes, and that included a selfie picture and a tweet where I actually had to find out the address.
We could probably do more. Let's be fair.
I could probably take a bunch of selfies and he'd not be ready. But the funny thing is there's a 3-minute delay on the stream, so people are going to see the picture before they actually.
Whoa.
Yeah, epic.
Mind games.
They're going to be like, wait a minute, when did he do that? He's casting right now. And then they'll see it. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, delay.
This is brilliant. This was devious, Sean. We could take a picture of Tim, actually. We could do anything.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
I'm going to see if I got this stream link right. It's got weird caps and stuff. ESL TV2. It's wrong! I got the stream link wrong.
SC2.
Oh, god damn it. I got to do it again.
Oh.
I knew I...
Do we have to take another selfie?
No. The picture's still the same. I just need to
The countdown's begun anyway,
Okay.
thank God.
Live with... Oh, I can't believe I got that wrong. I knew I messed up somehow.
Why can't I hear it in-game? Uh-oh, wait a minute.
You didn't make sure it's turned on, man.
Maybe not. It's fine, we can sort it out before we actually go into the game. Because I'm imagining they're not going to cheese after this huge process.
TV/... Wait.
This has been a fun start to the day.
It's easier if I just do Intel Stream Masters this time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to mess up. Intel Extreme Masters.
I look goofy on this picture, man.
.com. Oh, no, it's all put spaces and stuff in between it. This is really difficult. Because it's trying to auto-correct me. I'm trying to do that. I'm going to do it when we're in game.
Oh, well, you're not observing, so it's okay. Wait a minute. Let me check if I've got actually the sounds working, because right now... What? Why is it that low? Oh, okay.
Katowice is live fixing the sounds, and you've done it.
I think this will be okay. I think this will be fine. All right, guys. Game number 1. Finally here for the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship European qualifiers. We have spawning up to the top left-hand corner, Mr. Axiom Impact. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have Neurosoft's NightEnD. Great. And my follow button still doesn't work. Sad times. We should have hosted on Game Heart. Oh, well.
Oh, I finally fixed it.
Yeah, it's good.
Wait, is it linked to the right one?
Did you delete the previous
Well,
one?
it just links to the website. There's no stream embed.
There must be.
There's not on the IntelliStreamMasters.com. There is no stream embed. So again, I failed with the tweet. I'm gonna do another one.
This is gonna be the best
I
casted game
can't
ever.
believe that didn't work either. How did that not work? Why is there no stream embed?
I'm not sure. Just do. Which one are you gonna do? Are you gonna do?
I've
Twitch
got to go back to Twitch because I don't know the long one.
Okay, ESL TV _SC2.
Okay, wait. I've got to. Hold on. I'm not ready yet. Please, have you introduced the players and stuff?
I've done that. It's fine.
Okay.
But nothing's going on. Don't worry about it. Gateway opener, whatever.
This will work.
I think.
And it's
probably.
this is taking longer than the veto process. ESL TV
_SC2.
_SC2.
2. Yep.
Okay.
Sick.
I think it's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you actually deleting the previous ones, or is there just 3 selfies of us looking like goofballs?
They're there, but I'm going to delete them soon.
Okay.
I think I've done it this time. I think.
Sick. Okay.
I think.
I like how you just don't even have the game on your screen.
Oh, I'll do that in a minute. Just give me a second. I've got to delete the other ones because it is spam, and I don't like spam. No one likes spam. I think. Let me check. I've done it.
Like 10 people in subfield. Like, who's this guy doing
I have
this?
successfully done it.
Woohoo!
It took me a long time. All right, in game. Oh, 3 hatch. All right,
Oh,
so
great. Okay.
let me look at this again. So 3 hatch. 3, that is hatchery, of course. The word
That is
hatch.
3 of them.
There's 3 of them. 3 hatchery
There
opening
is.
here, blindly against a gateway expand. So this is like the best possible opener here for Impact. Very luckily and randomly that he's chosen this. It could have been a cannon rush, I suppose, but it is a 4-player map. Cannon rushes and super aggression, a lot less viable on a map this size. So he's calculated this. And even a Zealot made here. So this is super, super, super good for Impact.
Wow. NightEnD really doesn't want those rocks there. I have never seen someone be so attentive about killing those rocks that quickly, Sean. Look at this. That's crazy.
Got to get rid of them.
I guess so. I guess he wants to place buildings.
Whew, that was hard.
All right. Well, I'm okay.
So NightEnd's going to go scout with a probe, and when he does scout, he's going to be like, this kind of sucks. Because obviously his opponent's opened up with such a great build here.
Yeah.
Such a great build against... well, I mean, he doesn't even know he's opened up with such a good build against what NightEnd's done.
Yeah, that's all right for Impact here in game number 1. And again, remember, these earlier rounds are best of 3. The grand final is a best of 5, as it does have extremely heightened importance. So now Mr. NightEnD scouting, technically in the wrong direction, but we'll arrive there eventually. It would always be difficult to scout first over cross spawns. That would be the weirdest thing ever, so he'll get there eventually.
Yeah, he'll get there eventually, but he's had to just open up with a very generic build no matter what.
Yeah.
He's blindly chosen to go 4 gateways right away. So as soon as he sees his opponent, he kind of has to throw down a pylon with that probe. But the thing is, that probe's going to die, which means he needs to send out another one because it's been seen. He's going to see the 3rd hatchery now as well with the creep. And he's going to have to send out another probe immediately, which he is doing. But this is... the one thing that's working in NightEnd's favor is this has not been scouted whatsoever. So obviously... Impact has no idea this is coming. It is going to be 4 gateway, it's going to be Zealot heavy, and he's going to look to try to win the game early. Ideally, you'd like a Roach Warren, and we don't even have gases actually been mined yet from Impact. So even though NightEnd opened up with a much, much worse build, there's a possibility that this still works.
This Overlord, though, is in a great position for Impact. NightEnd actually dodged around those Zerglings with that second probes, keeping those out of position and out of sight even, but the second pylon going down here for NightEnd, these are going to get up.
Yeah, he's going to need much. He's going to need all his Lings and Queens down there, maybe even a Spine Crawler to make sure he's safe against this. Even though he still hasn't actually scouted what NightEnd's going for, it's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, throwing down creep tumors as well, just to be able to connect these bases. This one creep tumor at the natural was thrown down really fast so you can connect those up, and those units are going to get there really fast, but there's going to be a lot of Zealots here.
Oh, Sentry on the back foot actually missed... Well, it hit the force field, but the Sentry's on the wrong side. So he's going to have the Chrono Boost and actually warp in a Sentry here to make sure he doesn't die. By the way, though, if Zealots keep on getting made, they will beat almost any amount of Zerglings here. So I'm actually really interested to see when Impact's going to fight.
He's going to lose the Sentry. Oh, he loses a
doesn't wanna
second
do that.
Sentry. Those Zerglings are being really pesky. He has to pull probes off that, as well
There's
as...
so many transfuses available here with these queens.
There are quite a few. Time Warp will land, though, and that means that those queens have a bit of a harder time getting away from this. That's a lot of zealots here,
that's
Sean.
the thing. I mean, mass zealots beats mass lings.
Yeah, doing all right
but
for
is there going to be enough? The queen's here. He's missed one transfuse. You got the second one there.
Mothership Core falls.
Yeah, but look at the zealots doing a lot of damage here. 18 more lings, though. I think he's got enough. Well, he has got enough.
Yeah, he's going to end up cleaning up. Warping in once again, but, you know, with those extra lings on the way, plenty of lava, that triple hatch before pull, providing him such a great start off in this game. Very easy to hold on.
If he hadn't lost a sentry and hadn't been forced to start attacking there, I think that if he built up enough zealots, he could have potentially made this work.
Yeah.
But as you can see, he's got shut down quite hard, has to fall back on taking a second gas in his main base. The robotics facility is thrown down, which is going to be a really, really risky, slowly taken third base, or we're just going to see an immortal attack. Could be Warp Prism still, but Impact, as you can see, double Evolution Chamber is going to go double upgrades, Lings most likely, and this is just a wonderful start for the Axiom player.
And I like, the drone count that he was on when he was defending there was like 32-ish, but, you know, as long as he holds on, it doesn't matter how much lava he's really dedicating to those Lings, because he has so much lava after the hold. So really good start here from Impact.
And these Lings even see the robot at the front door here, by the way. There is not a Foden overcharge. There will be soon, so there's no way he can actually break this down. But he sees the robotics facility. I would not even be surprised for Impact just to go straight up to Spire here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could run a risk against a slow Immortal push. He may go Infestors as well. There's lots of choices for Impact in such a beautiful position that he's in. This is really, really great.
The thing is that even if he did go for like a slow Immortal push, the creep spread's being spread into the middle of the map really nicely here for Impact, and it's very, very open as well. So it would take a very long time for NightEnD to get into an advantageous position, where force fields would be useful against a thing like that. So I have to agree. You know, throwing down a Spire would be
especially since he's seen the robotics bay inside the main base. It's just
did he see it?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's such an. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to go straight to Colossus. I mean, straight to Mutalisk, because it is still a little bit risky before you get a high gas count, which he hasn't had in this game, because he's only just now taken his other gases.
So he's a pylon.
Yeah, he's just gonna play by the looks of it, just circling heavy. Maybe Infestors to support. It doesn't look like he's gonna go Mutalisk here, obviously.
Yeah, he's just playing out a bit more of a standard ground composition here, getting those melee upgrades as well. So it looks like Impact actually might be steering. Well, he starts Glitter Constitution, but that might just be as a an insurance policy in this mid game, and then transition onto Ultralisk later. I do like seeing Ultralisk compositions in this matchup. It's really fun to watch if he goes there.
He's building 11 roaches because there is units moving out here.
Yeah.
And this is a decent move out actually from NightEnD. It's nothing intentional here, but he has shown that he's got a probe with this. 16 roaches are being made, but the thing is, this will work two ways. NightEnD will come in, will probably recall, obviously, he's just forcing units out, but with 11 or 18 roaches, whatever it is, it's going to be almost impossible for NightEnD to take a third base. So behind this, we will see a fourth base come in for Impact, and it's going to start to spiral a little bit here.
It's certainly going in Impact's favor. NightEnD has to make miracles happen with this small composition. He's going to have to recall out. There's no way he can sit around there at all. Those roaches are seen, and now he does recall away. The pylons fall, and now there's not much opportunity for NightEnD to put on any harassment or anything like that, which could try and bring him into the game. So he's going to get run over very soon.
Yeah, Impact will take a fourth now for sure, and just increase his economy further. NightEnd's stuck on all Zealots and one Colossus. Obviously, Mutalisk, as we described, are just almost an instant win here. And he is building the Spire, and he does have 900 gas in the bank. So there is that option still to have that come into play here.
It's a scary position that NightEnd's in. He's going to try and play this out, but he knows his earlier aggression didn't do what it needed to then transition onto later stages. For now, he's kind of scrambling, trying to get himself into a good position when he moves out with these two Colossi, but can these really hit a timing?
There is no timing isn't, and not even a thing here. He's just looking to do something with his units. He can't take a third because there's so many units. He can't attack because there's going to be Infestors. We may see Corruptors, obviously. Still, it's up to Impact how he wants to play this, but with the economy he has and will have, and the lead he's got in this game, it's almost impossible for Impact to lose this. He's just in a wonderful position.
Ooh, tries to get to a Colossus there with these Zerglings, but in the end has to dart on away. Not too bad force field control, and actually the time warp trying to slow down these Lings, and they almost get caught entirely. It's nicely done there by NightEnD in the end, but that was actually the worst sentence ever. But considering all of that, I mean, Impact behind this, Infestors out, Roaches out, spotting all the bases. He has so many options.
Yeah, This is such a very easy game for Impact, and it was all decided because of that early Zealot attack that didn't work. So we have 10 Corruptors. He's chosen Corruptors to get rid of the Colossus here, and what we're going to see from NightEnD is a third base, but we're going to see an attack from Impact no matter what. He'll take a fight if it's on his side of the map or if it's on NightEnd's. It doesn't matter. He's got 200 supply. He'll fight now, and it's going to be almost impossible for him not to win this.
Those Infestors a little bit further forwards than they would like to have been. Those Zealots actually get quite the good engagement on those for a second, but Fungals as well as a ton of Roaches going to land across all of this. Corruptors fly on in and kill off those Colossi, and this is looking pretty one-sided. GG.
Yep, GG. And I think the biggest problem here was that NightEnD just already had a strategy in mind, and he didn't scout or anything. He had no idea what he's going up against. It was a little bit slow, and unfortunately, it was just instantly killed off by Impact, and it was a very easy game for the Axiom player. Very, very easy.
All right, well, that means we're going to go on to game number 2 here in a second. Mr. Impact says next map, so I'm not even sure they know what the next map is at this point. I don't think they do,
because they didn't actually choose map 1, 2, and 3 in order. It was more so that the first map was going to be Frost, and then NightEnD gets to choose now.
Awesome. Well, we'll see in just a second. Do we have any updates in the bracket? I imagine we do, considering how long this has taken, the process.
I'll have a look for you. Oh, wrong bracket.
Oh, we do have some updates.
Okay, hold on.
All right. Let's show it on screen, actually.
Hold on, I'm not ready. Where's the right button?
You are Brackets Master. It's F11, man.
All right, I've got it here. So we have, results-wise, Snook's making his way through. There's obviously not been too many rounds. Mana beat Goody quite fast, which is surprising, considering it's Goody. Other results, you have a couple on the left-hand side, as you can see. Not too many. Pretty expected, I think.
Just a few.
Just a few. Not too many. Not too many at all.
So we're progressing on at least, a little bit.
Yeah, we're almost just out of the...
Wow.
Into the round of 64.
That's a name I haven't seen for a while. Underdark. You remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him for ages. What's he been doing? Oh, well.
Don't know.
Well, he's here. As we are going to get into Ultrazeme for our next one. I keep calling it Ultrazeme Altar because of Tal'Darim Altar. Even though it's not Ultrazeme Altar, it's Ultrazeme Stronghold. I don't know why this happens. I do know why
I do not know why.
It's really, really
kind of maybe the reason you mentioned.
Yeah, I think so. So we're going to get into that in a second. You are already in the lobby. I can join a few as well, as we're going to get into the second match between these guys. Now, and currently 1 game down. It looked pretty simple for Mr. Impact in that first game, but, well, we'll see if he can tie it up. I mean, he could. There's no reason he couldn't, especially since this is his map pick.
Yeah.
So,
but playing Zerg on lag, it's easier, I think, than playing Protoss and Terran, because in Protoss and Terran, you need to be able to pull off a really good, successful fight micro-wise. But as Zerg, as long as you see what's coming and can prepare, you don't need to have as intensive micro to win the fight. So I think as long as Impact plays a very scouting-heavy game and just sees what NightEnd's up to and is always ready, he's going to win. Yeah,
you're right. It's all about overwhelming with the Zerg, right, and just kind of flooding on in there and killing off in the very end. But for now, NightEnD looks to get prepared on his map. Ultrazeme Stronghold here for game number 2. So let's jump right on in. Spawning down to the bottom right, we have our Axiom representative. He is Impact. And up to the top right, we have our Neurosoft representative. It's NightEnD.
So, the map that we've loaded into here, as you said, Ultrazeme Stronghold, is the largest map that we have in the 7 maps within the map pool that the players can choose from. And it's often vetoed out by quite a few players. It's difficult to play on such a large map here. Rush distances, incredibly long. It's hard to punish greedy plays. And not too many people do like playing this map. As a Zerg player here, it's very difficult to try to punish a greedy Protoss player. For example, their main base has access to a second base immediately. Can't do anything about them taking that too early. The third base, even if they do take that early, the distance from the Zerg to the Protoss is really, really long, so it's hard to pull off the Ling Roach Hydralisk Corruptus style that we see so often to punish third bases. So overall, it's not the most favored map from players, but I definitely expect to see, as just mentioned, greedy builds from both. Could be 3 Hatchery coming out from Impact again. Could be Nexus first into Gateway coming out from NightEnD.
Yeah, could happily be that triple hatchery, as you said before. I mean, it's difficult for a Protoss to if you want to try and punish something like a triple hatch at the beginning, then you have to send out a probe and then a second one if you'd like thrown down an early forge. And on the map like this, you lose so much mining time because of that. So it's a scary prospect as a Protoss.
And I'm expecting Impact to go 3 hatcheries here. If he's going to do it on Frost, he's going to do it here. I don't think he'd consider a Forge play coming out.
Yeah.
NightEnD is going to go for this Nexus here, and I totally expect a Gateway behind this. Forge is safer. Obviously, you have the option to get a cannon. You may want to build a cannon, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Gateway. Gateway into a pretty fast assimilator here to get his gas up and running. And then just play it from this. I don't even think we'll see a Forge come out from him. Not anytime soon, at least.
Yeah, NightEnD is also expecting his opponent to play greedy as well, as it is this huge map.
Yeah.
But Impact, well, he's going to spot his opponent pretty quickly, which is going to be nice for him. But realistically, there's not a whole lot he really has to do against that.
No,
so.
he wouldn't change his build at all.
Yeah.
It's just more kind of safe mind. You come in here, you see that your opponent's played greedy. Like, all right, cool. I've played greedy too. You're not going to harass me. Fantastic. And as expected by NightEnD, even got a second pylon before the gas, which means he's able to chrono boost probes at a much faster rate to increase his probe count, to increase his economy. A beautiful opening here from NightEnD, the most ideal opening you could have as a Protoss player against Zerg here. But as mentioned, Impact has the most ideal opening you could have as a Zerg as well.
And just transferring a few drones down there. Spawning pool has been started for Impact during all of this, and we do now have that 7-8 code being added to the wall here for NightEnD. So he is playing a little bit defensively in terms of, greeting any Zerglings that would come along earlier on, and that's important to do just in case, obviously, your opponent had a few units on the field. Maybe try and block them off, leave your opponent a little bit in the dark. It'd be nice.
Yeah, definitely. NightEnD from this position has multiple options to choose from. He can try to go for an Immortal bust, maybe. Could throw down the Stargate immediately and just play a regular Stargate harass game. Could even try to take a fast third Nexus off one gateway. There's actually a lot of options to choose from. Whereas on the other hand, from Impact, it's all about droning right now.
Yep.
He'll take his gases soon. Maybe 5 minutes 30. Could be now, in between now and 5 minutes 30 to make sure he gets Zergling speed and potentially roaches. Because, of course, the Cybernetics core is done, which means Warp Gate research is on the way, could see a gateway attack. So he'll take his gases soon to prepare. But other than that, a pretty passive game to begin with.
Poor NightEnD, he got a little bit unlucky about spotting this initial Overlord first, as Impact left it out of range of vision. So this probe had to go up to the top left-hand corner to see what was going on and realized he wasn't there. So now sends down to the bottom right knowing that he'd spawned there, but he could have gone there a little bit quicker.
There's the Robo.
Interesting.
So could see an Immortal push, but the Zergling's going to poke up the ramp and see it.
Yeah.
So this is spotted really early on from Impact.
He didn't actually click on that building just then for a second.
He didn't need to click on it. I guess he would have, yeah, if he wanted to look. He's going to send out
click
more.
on it?
I don't know. I'm not looking if he's clicking, but I'm sure he's not going to miss that information there. So from this, I don't know why I keep sending links up there.
I guess he just, because the first 2 times he went up there, he actually didn't click on it. But I guess that I wasn't watching this one. I guess he clicked on it just then. So
yeah, he definitely knows whatever the case. So from this position, NightEnD is going to be playing either an Immortal push, a fast Colossus play to take a third, or maybe just taking his third fast with an Immortal, or something along the lines. It's either going to be a push or take a fast third. Usually, you're expecting to see a push from this, which is why we actually have a probe out on the left-hand side, and we could see Immortals made, and if we do, then we are going to have a push. There's already 3 sentries, more gateways coming in. It is going to be the push.
This can be hard to make work on this map sometimes.
It's long. It's not the best map to do this on. I've actually tried this build myself a lot recently, and it didn't work. It's really long.
Yeah, there's so many positions that you can get caught out in, and then you have to get close to the hatchery and get in good positions to force field. If you can get down here towards the third hatchery and then force field in something like these locations, for example, then yeah, sure, it's good, but it's getting there that's the real problem.
Yeah, I think, I was about to say, Impact needs some more gases here. He doesn't quite have enough gas to build a decent roach count. I think 4 gases is ideal against an Immortal push. He's only on 3 or just building the third one now. But he'll start his unit production soon. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be silly about this. One thing, though, he hasn't got anything to spot the third in case the third is thrown down. So he's going to have to just assume it's attack here.
Yeah.
Or if he assumes it's a third base, then he's going to die. He's got a Zergling going up to scout now to see this push out.
And it will see it pretty
And he's got
early.
13 roaches on the way. He's just assuming it's an tech. And
Yeah.
he does see it. Creep spread's really good, by the way. And there is also the flank to the left-hand side of where the creep is as well, so you can go down that way.
Now, the interesting thing about this Immortal Push is that if he is going to throw the pylon down on the left-hand side here with this probe, then the army here for NightEnD is going to have to go around the left-hand side to make this fully work out, because he's not reinforcing from right next to it.
Then he'd at least avoid this creep spread, which is going to be really good, and avoid the spine crawlers. I guess they can get readjusted.
And he sees everything with the Observer in terms of, well, he actually hasn't seen the full extent of the creep spread, but now he just saw it at the front. So the pylon reinforcement location is a little bit... there we go. So he throws it down. He has to go around the left-hand side. If you go across the creep, it's going to be difficult.
Yep. Well, he's going to have to try and make this work. It's not as easy as a map like Yunsu to land the right force fields, especially when creep is this big.
Oh, those Zerglings just barely missed that probe on the left-hand side. And they still miss it. There was a small slither of fog of war that probe snuck through. And now NightEnD realized, I think he realized he has to throw a pylon down here, because that pylon on the left-hand side, again, hard to reinforce through.
Well, roach speed isn't here, which obviously makes it much easier to engage, having your roaches faster to wrap around, which makes it harder for NightEnD to hit his force fields. Counter-attack Ling's been sent out. Already been dealt with by NightEnD by warping in a sentry, if that was to be the case. But he's going to continue on. And look at this. Impact's actually moving forward to the largest spread of the creep, which means it's easier for him to engage and harder for NightEnD to hit his force fields.
And that pylon's going to get nibbled at there for a second. But you're right, this is a great position for Impact to fortify himself on and engage on. This is
5 queens too.
And also, there's actually not that many sentries compared to normal. There's only 6 right now. Yes, they do have full energy, but normally you see like 8 to 10 to 12 even sometimes.
Yeah, there's still like 24 force fields, 20 force fields here to use with a full energy on 6.
But a wraparound could really hurt him. He has to back up constantly. NightEnd's going to have to play this really slowly, especially since he's also supply blocked. He can't warp in any more units at this point. Oh, that one sentry is so low, and it's got a lot of energy left on it. Few force fields do go down. This is actually not too bad an engagement location for NightEnD, considering the openness of this location. Nice time warp.
It's just too many units here from Impact, and he's continuing to lava inject, he's continuing to build more units. This is going to be very hard for NightEnD to make work here.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, with those double time warps now being used, it's going to take a whole lot of time for that to recharge. He's not going to have that in his arsenal when it comes to another engagement.
Yeah, he's going to try something else here. What is he trying?
Sneaky.
Double Immortals in here. If he can pick off the back hatch, maybe. And then I guess he could fall back on an expansion here if he's able to pick this hatch off.
That would be nice. He's going to try and go for it. Maybe do a little bit of harassment, but some Zerglings are already there. Zealot warp in as well. This is going to pull quite a bit of that army to the back. And then, well, it should be cleaned up in the end. He should be pressing his advantage at the front, I think.
Yeah, he's going to. Clear the spines. Nice little move here from NightEnD. Will it work, though? He goes back with his army now. He has got position to clear these spines out before the army's back there.
And this is one of the disadvantages of this map. The fact that the natural and the third are a long way away by ground distance. So NightEnd's trying to exploit that. We'll pull back for a second once again. He still has to play this out very slow.
Even Hydralisk now coming in.
Well, actually, now that you say that, it's... Yes, he kind of has to play it slow, but at the same time, there's a timer above his head, right? Because of the Hydralisks that are on the way.
NightEnD needs to go. I mean, he's always needed to go. That was a nice move with the Immortals to maybe have an opening, but the opening's closed again.
Yeah.
And this is just getting worse and worse for NightEnD. Look at the supply. It's 187 to 32 now. 132, that is. This is going to be almost impossible to break. He's taken too long. Maybe this wasn't the right map choice. He does have 2 extra Immortals coming. So it's going to be 5 Immortals in total.
It's good firepower.
It's good firepower, but it's also going to be a lot of Zerg. And Hydral's in the mix now. Possible attack on the way. Range is about to finish upgrading for the Zerg as well.
Big swarm forwards once again. Doesn't want to go up that ramp. Those force fields could quite easily cut him off in that small choke. But he's just... all the time he spends here whilst those force fields actually go down.
And look how much money Impact has to remax to. With even Zerglings is fine.
Yeah. They're going to swarm across this army very quickly, especially since it's very Stalker heavy and not many Zealots in there at all. It's going to be difficult for NightEnD to not only break this, but deal with those reinforcements.
Trading off a couple of those Lings, a couple of Roaches for more Hydralisks, always good as well.
Yep. And we still have a few more in production. He even starts +1. That's how comfortable Impact feels right now. Yes. But also, being maxed out, you may as well get some upgrades, I guess.
And 4 roaches, nice little counterattack there. Even if there was a sentry, he'd be able to knock that down.
Yeah,
and that'll force
nice.
more units back for NightEnD, or at least more units to be warped in at home.
And NightEnD might have got himself in a bit of a bad spot there as he moves way into the middle of a very, very open area. Has to throw down a lot of force fields to try and hold this off, but at the same time, even Impact, he doesn't really care about those force fields at this point
And
with
roaches
this kind
in
of
the
army.
mineral line as well. This is very, very one-sided once again.
Oh, sad times here for NightEnD in game number 2. Impact just steamrolling over this army. And NightEnD has no more force fields and only 1 or 2 Immortals left. He's coming in from the back with some Stalkers, but even those, I won't be able to hold this wave at bay.
Yep, good play from Impact, 2-0. And for the first game on our stream, Korea 1, Europe 0.
Yeah.
I think the series was shorter than the map veto as well.
Certainly so. Are we going to keep a tally? Is that Korea?
We can. Well, I guess you guys can keep the real tally when looking at the bracket, but
yeah.
That's our first game, and that is in favor of Korea. And yeah.
All right, let's take a quick look and see if there's any updates in the brackets here, guys. Happy versus Mana in round number 3. That's pretty good in the round of 32. Has that started?
I don't know. I'm just asking the admin to see if we have a new game.
All right, Nurture versus Underdark. Underdark actually defeated Tefel, which I would actually consider quite an upset. Tefel did pretty well last year in Premier. And again, I haven't really seen much of Underdark recently. So him being able to defeat Tefel in that second round is pretty impressive. I'm looking down what else we have. Alicia versus Minimath. Elfie versus Nomi. There could be that Elfie versus Crank series at some point in round number 3 as well, which you mentioned before, which would be nice.
That would be. I'd definitely favour Elfie there. Our next game, though, from what I've been told, is going to be Mana versus Happy.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. Mana recently qualifying for Cologne. Currently teamless as well. So impressive stuff by Mana to keep himself relevant and advertise himself a little bit to more new teams.
Yep.
And then we have Happy, the most consistent Terran in Europe.
I was reading the, I don't know if you guys have read it at home, but I was reading the Team Liquid Awards for 2013, and there was one, all of it was great. It's a fantastic read. But there was one that made me chuckle a little bit, and it was the award for 2013 International Terran Award.
Yeah.
And it wasn't awarded because there wasn't any successful Terrans outside of Korea. Team Liquid, instead of giving it to a Terran that didn't perform that well in 2013, they said, screw it, no one's having the award because you didn't perform well enough, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
But of course, Happy was in the running for that award, which was never given. He is one of the best Terrans in Europe. It's just the level of Terrans, well, not really even the level of Terrans, just the results from Terrans. Doesn't seem to be that high. But Happy, definitely a player, which could be pretty cool.
I mean, I would dispute that they didn't give it to Happy, considering like who he played during 2013 and who he was knocked out of tournaments by in 2013.
I think that Happy was always knocked out by good Koreans whenever I saw him play.
Exactly. It was always, when he was knocked out, it was like in Home Story Cup, it was like 3-2 to Hyun, like pushing him to the brink. I think it was Hyun. Then it was like MMA and WCS Europes and Jack G and all these guys constantly. So Happy only got stopped by good Koreans in 2013, which...
Well, he's playing against Mana now, and Mana is not a good Korean. So is he going to move on past Mana now, or is Mana going to be the one to move on? Of course, Mana would... I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are going to go to the live event in Poland would like to see a Polish player play in the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Mana was there last year. Is he going to be able to play in it this year? He would either need to win this qualifier or do extremely well at the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. Both very, very difficult to accomplish.
Yep, certainly.